presentation.
I'm just starting the show. Yeah, no. I'm not going to lube it up. I'm just going to ram it in. So here we are. No Fucks Given, a family podcast. It's Frank here, joined by Connor and Peter today. Matt had a conflict, so he's not going to be here and was saved watching this film.
I can see how this is going already.
This is going to be great radio, is what I'm gonna say. We all came together after how many Musketeers we watched? I don't know, 3 times 5 movies, 6 movies. It's 18 Musketeers we ended up watching all the way through. So we're done with that. We're back to the modern era-ish. And we all decided to watch 1989's Tango and Cash. That's it. Join us next week.
I'll tell you one thing. Whoever set us up is really connected.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Relax. Soak. And don't flatter yourself.
Meet Ray Tango. He likes money,
Easy come, easy go.
but doesn't bother with cash. Meet Gabe Cash. He won't dance around trouble and doesn't mind stepping on toes.
I hate you karate guys.
2 of LA's top rival cops are having a tough time staying in rhythm.
You know me, huh?
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
That's funny. I hear the same thing about you.
But they're going to have to work together, even if it kills them.
Like now!
We'll take it.
No,
That's one of a kind.
we won't put a scratch on it. Did you sleep with my sister?
I was so drunk, I don't remember, okay?
Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. Tango and Cash.
Guys, we're dropping this in June after our review of Heated Rivalry, right? Because like this is the gayest movie I've ever seen in my life.
They love each other so much.
They cut all the kissing and the hot, passionate love between the two of them. That shower scene, I'm sure, has an extended 20 minutes on the cutting room floor somewhere. But like, they love each other so much.
Scene, you know, that shower scene, you imagine that their dicks are rat kings together, right? Like that's the only way that scene makes sense.
But that might just be too much.
That's too
Three
much
Musketeers.
Musketeers. Okay, we watched Tango and Cash. Let's hear how we all feel about it. I know I've seen this movie before today.
Oh, okay.
Had either of you seen this film?
Nope.
I had seen it in bits and pieces on TNT over the years on various Sunday afternoons.
TBS dinner and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like one of those.
This
Bird
is
on a Wire.
definitely a movie that they would just run in blocks of like shit's blowing up weekend on TNT, you know, and
Man Night.
yeah, totally. I mean, and honestly, I watched this movie under the I think the perfect condition and probably the way that this movie has been watched the most, which is to say, a approaching middle-aged man, watched this on a Sunday afternoon. I had a Diet Coke and some snacks. I had nothing else better to do, and I even watched it on Tubi, so I got commercials and stuff. I didn't have the ability to channel surf, but I was transported back to 2002.
Yes, where you watched a 13-year-old movie in 2002.
The only better way to watch this, I think, would have been like hungover on a Sunday morning, like with like some hair of the dog and a greasy cheeseburger. Like this is a great movie for that because it requires no brain cells to be communicating, and just watching the pretty pictures and getting a chuckle at the pithy one-liners every 30 seconds. Like that is what this movie is made for.
Can I give you a better way to watch this movie?
No.
Do you know when you're on a flight and the seat in front of you, one over, has a movie on with subtitles and you're just laser into it? Like that is the only way this movie works.
Man, have we all been there? Yeah.
No sound.
No sound.
But you're keeping
like,
track of what's going on.
I don't know why. I've seen like 4 or 5 films like that, and they are always like addicting as hell. You get so sucked into what someone else is watching on a plane.
But it's infuriating when you can't figure out what they're watching, and then you like abandon your movie and you start scrolling to figure out if you can figure out what it is they're watching.
Yeah.
And if you have enough time before you land to squeeze it in.
There should be a like category for what you can like. Will build you a playlist that will end when we go wheels down, kind of thing, based on like when you press.
That's why a lot of, at least on Delta flights, they have a sub 2 hour category.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was on a United flight not too long ago where I feel like I finished something. No, I didn't. Thank God.
Dated reference now.
But shit. Oh,
you were watching something.
I finished the thing I was watching, and it did give me sort of a list of like, here's some stuff you can finish before we land.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. Do you know what isn't nice?
What's that?
Tango and Cash.
See the thing. Here's the thing, Frank. Frank, here's the thing. Listen to me, Frank.
You like this movie?
You are so wrong.
I don't think so. I really think this
You are
is possibly
so wrong.
the worst. I think this is the worst buddy cop movie that's ever been made. Really
so here's the thing, Frank. Here's the thing. On that count, you're not wrong.
What count else is there? That's the only one.
What are we counting? But explain your math, Connor.
So here's my thesis, guys. This movie was what the Last Action Hero should have been.
Oh, I can get on board with that.
No. You're gonna sacrifice what Last Action Hero is to get closer to this?
Well, there's no kid in this, so no,
there's no adults in this either.
True, but this movie was doing what Last Action Hero was shooting for 4 years later, but they didn't realize that that's what they were doing.
Kind of. There's something in what you're saying. I get what you're trying to do. They're not in on the joke.
Yeah, they're shooting it straight, but it feels like parody.
Right, and what's great about how we're sort of landing on this, there were like basically 2 camps of people while they were making this movie. There was like John Peters and his insanity, and then Stalone, who was sort of trying to be the auteur that he's always trying to be. But they had hired as the director a guy named Andrei
Konchalovsky.
Yeah, thank you very much. Who was not just a Russian filmmaker, but a Soviet filmmaker, whose last movie, this caught my eye while I was doing research, is called from 2020, "Dear Comrades!" !
Oh, the exclamation point. Yeah, it's always a good movie when you have to add the exclamation point.
Right. Well, the big movie he had made was Uncle Vanya in 1970 something in the Soviet Union. How he came from the Soviet Union to America. I mean, we were sort of getting like towards the end of the Cold War and the end of the Soviet Union in '89. But how he sort of moved from making, bless the worker Soviet films to his first Hollywood movie was Runaway Train. God, yeah, look at that.
I mean, Dear Comrades got an Oscar nom for Best International Film
that poster is beautiful.
Oh, and it was not that long ago. That was 2020.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Man's still working, but he was hired to make this movie, and he was like, great, I'm going to do a Verhoeven thing. I'm going to point out how stupid these, these American buddy cop action movies are. And John Peters was like, and Sylvester Stallone were like, no, we're making a serious movie about serious people and doing a serious thing. And Kurt Russell, God bless him, was like, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. And that's why he saves this movie.
I mean, Kurt Russell's immune from any tarnish of this film. Like he has nothing sticks to him.
He's great. He's a joy to watch on screen in this film.
He's great, but he's like, he can't not. But like, truly, what is the worst Kurt Russell movie? Like, it's not even like performance wise.
Great question.
He's always great. He is always great. But what's great about this is he's doing. Okay, I might be projecting. This might just be me. But I saw Kurt Russell doing like Stallone jiu-jitsu, where every time Stallone was trying to be too serious and play it too heavy, he would sort of redirect that energy into making it just as funny as he was being. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Or similarly funny, at least.
Yeah.
Like, Kurt Russell knew what this movie was, and he may have been the only person who knew what it was.
But as a result, like that dissonance between them, the dissonance between production and direction, and I think the directors got fired along the way. Like I think Konchalovsky directed most of it, but I know he got fired before production wrapped.
He got fired before production wrapped, and also they had brought in a bunch of guys to be second unit directors. They brought in Albert Magnoli, who I don't know. Peter McDonald was sort of like I think he was sort of like a famous like bring him in to be your second unit guy just to make sure
Was he
the
the
movie gets
Rambo
done.
3 guy? One of them
Yes.
was
Holy
the
shit!
Rambo 3 guy.
Albert Magnoli, the director of Purple Rain.
Yes, yes, and I believe one of them was also the director of. Albert Magnoli was the director of Purple Rain. I believe Peter McDonald was the director of Tombstone. We'll stand by.
Fascinating. A movie I've been waiting to see. I've been like, we'll probably do it for this pod. I have not seen Tombstone.
Yeah, we should do Tombstone. We should.
will.
He directed Rambo 3.
Can I real quick quiz
Yeah.
while we're talking about it, because I don't want to spend too much time on Rambo because he's a pussy. Can either of you correctly say the verbatim titles of all 3 of the John Rambo movies?
No.
No,
Can you, Connor?
I can take a swing.
Take a swing. What is
the first one is just First
called?
Blood.
Just First Blood. That's it.
The second one is First Blood Part 2. Rambo.
Rambo : First Blood,
Part
hyphen Part 2.
Rambo
The
3 is
third
just
one?
Rambo 3.
Yes. And I think
The
I'm
fourth
pretty
one
sure
is John Rambo.
The fourth one is just. I think the fourth one's. Yeah, it might be just John Rambo.
It's
and
just
then
John-
The fifth
and
one is The Last
The
Blood,
Last Blood.
which is a great title.
It's a great title for apparently a terrible movie.
Rambo 4, not the worst thing I've ever seen, by the way. Okay.
No.
But real quick, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Tango and Cash. What we have to set the table before we gobble up the food.
Mm-hmm.
What is Tango and Cash? Who can properly set up what this is for people? For people don't. Everyone knows the words Tango and Cash. You assume it's some kind of like buddy cop movie.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
So it's-
untangle it.
So it's 1989. It's Los Angeles. It's warm.
Can I read it from IMDb or are you
No,
on a
I'm
roll?
gonna roll.
He's building.
I'm
He's
on a roll.
building. Can you
Do it.
not?
Do it.
Los Angeles.
Let him cook.
Los Angeles apparently overridden by crime and standing between the good citizens of Los Angeles, of whom we see none of, and the criminals, who are everybody but Tango and Cash, are 2 police officers. I want to make sure I get their names right.
Who don't work together or know each other.
No.
That's an important piece of the beginning. They are from opposite neighborhoods.
They're from the other. I was getting to that. We
John
have
Tango.
we have Lieutenant Raymond Ray Tango, who
Ray
is
Tango, and Gabriel Cash.
and Gabriel Cash. Now Tango is from what you might say the right side of the tracks. He's from West. He's from West Los Angeles.
He's technically part of the Beverly Hills
Beverly
PD.
Hills.
He's part of the Beverly Hills PD. He's a stockbroker on the side. He dresses in Armani. He has a little.
He wears glasses.
He wears glasses. He has a little tiny gun. He's very classy. From the east side of town is Gabriel Cash, who is Riggs from Lethal Weapon. Yeah. He's a working class cop who's just there to bust crime and has James Bond gadgets because why not?
Because you know why? We'll get there in a second, but it's the last movie that was released in the 80s. Did you guys know this?
Yes, I just saw that today.
Okay.
This is the last 80s movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
The 90s are already starting to encroach with their technology.
Yes.
They are both famous across the city for
Separately.
for waging their individual wars on crime, and they're doing a particularly good job of it because they both take up column images in the paper, and there's so much newspaper business in this movie. There's so I mean, it ends with the front page of the Times.
Hold on. May I take the baton from you and continue running for a second? Because they are unwittingly destroying a specific crime lord's operation. a man played by Jack Palance who they don't know exists.
Yeah.
So the opening of this movie is a scene with Stallone, a pretty standard kind of like opening action.
He's in the desert.
Open.
There's a truck.
He destroys a truck. He realizes it's full of cocaine. As they're sort of making the arrest, a limo drives past the truck with Jack Palance in it. Jack Palance looks out the window and is like, Tango. And then he goes, and Cash. And you're like, what's Cash? And he's like, Cash and Tango, Tango and Cash. They're ruining my business. And you're like, are they partners? Are they working together? Why does this one guy fixate on these two guys? No. Unrelated cops from different parts of town who, as far as we know, have never formally met each other, have been destroying this one mob boss, like Kingpin, his business. And he enacts a plan to destroy them, unwittingly gets them to partner with each other and become a unstoppable killing machine and that murders maybe 150 people by the end of this movie.
First he gets them sent to jail.
First he gets them sent to jail, which when you saw that, were you like, oh, is this what this movie's about? Like
when they got to jail, or when he was illustrating the plane with rats.
Well, when they got to jail,
When he
I
had
was
the
like,
mice in the
great,
box,
this
and
is
moved the
the
box
rest
over
of the movie.
over the plexiglass jail and put them in there.
Yes.
Okay, I've got one thing to say about the mice, because I watched this earlier today. I was at my friend Tom Gruber's house. He's been on. We've done podcasts with him before. I don't know if he's been this one. He recently rewatched Gone in 60 Seconds a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about it before today, and he was talking about the insanity of the bad guys thing about woodworking. Remember that movie? Remember how the bad guy's obsessed with wood carving?
Doctor Who.
Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston. Yeah.
And he was like, is that not the worst bad guy personality trait you've seen in a movie? So that's kind of that seed planted. Today we're watching it, and that scene comes up where he pulls the mice out of a box on his
cigar
desk.
box. Yeah.
Before you see that there is a mice maze, that's a separate thing. He just pulls the mice out and he's holding them. And Tom turns to me and he says, is this his wood? And we have to make that a phrase now of the bad guy's hobby that's kind of harmless.
Is this his carpentry?
His carpentry. Is this his wood?
Well, and it's such an oddly drawn scene, because he takes out one mouse. He's like, "This is Tango." Takes out the other mouse. He goes, "This is Cash." And God bless him, it's Jack Palance. He's doing his thing.
He's doing his best.
For the most part, he's great.
You know what you get.
He puts the mice away.
He puts them back in the box. Walks
and
the box across the room.
End of
to the acrylic mouse maze that's just there, and then takes the mice out and puts them back in his thing. And then we're going to put Tango and Cash in jail.
Yeah, together.
These two guys that don't know each other, only by reputation.
Their intro where they meet each other and I heard you're the second best cop in town, and he's like, I heard the same thing about you. I'm like, okay, that's what goes there, but sure, my problem is they are. I
can't believe you have problems with this movie.
They only have differences in a superficial way.
Yeah.
They behave identically. They both shoot people to death and destroy everything. Don't even do it. Stallone has glasses and a vest, but there's nothing different about their methods.
Here's the thing.
Can we visit Connor's gun corner real quick? Because I've got some questions.
Totally. One sec. Well, I was going to make this one point real quick before, and then we can move over to Connor's gun corner. They don't kill anybody until halfway through the jail section, and even then, they just throw a guy falls over the rails when they're trying to pull either Tango or Cash over out of their cells.
Sure, but the collateral damage, there are dead bodies everywhere.
But the point I'm trying to make is it's not a big Slater in in Last Action Hero entering a room and just shooting. Shooting guns as the solution to all problems.
Not until the third
act, which makes it actually kind of weird when they start doing that, and that becomes their way that they solve problems. Because up until that point, they don't really do that. Anyways, Peter, you had a question.
Yeah. Explain to me in what universe Cash would have a sight that is like equally the size of his gun.
Yeah, well, so that's just kind of what laser sights looked like in the 80s. If you remember
For people who haven't seen
Yeah.
it, explain describe the weapon in question.
actually, I have the page pulled up. I can.
It's like a pistol with a pistol on it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's the same. It's an era of the time. It's the way, you know how telescopes used to be buildings. Like, it's like that.
You know, computers used to be rooms. It's a Ruger GP11, which is just like it's just a regular revolver, but it's got like you say, Peter. It's got a laser sight, the size of another gun on top of the gun. I don't know what they were going for there. I have to assume, because a lot of this movie wound up on the cutting room floor. There was just there were a lot of pages that they shot just to have ideas that were pursued. My assumption is that the LAPD's version of Q branch at one point was more involved in this movie than they wound up being. Because
his nerdy little science buddy.
Yeah,
that gets introduced inexplicably
Quickly.
after the jailbreak.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
But it was stuff like that when Cash is walking around with a gun that has like another gun strapped to it.
and it's
where I'm
and
like,
it's so heavy.
Surely
it's so heavy. You
Yeah,
can't
it's-
hold it in front of him. He sort of holds it like sort of down
like
by
down.
his chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm like,
hey. Remember when Stallone unloaded his pistol in the opening scene
For no
to
reason.
load it with more
To load it
bullets?
again.
What was that? What truly, like, this is one of the most, possibly the most problematic production that ever got formally released, and people assume it's a real movie. Like,
Yeah.
this is one of the most troubled experiences.
I assume that that is there because Sylvester Stallone thought that looked cool.
I mean, this is the beginning of the peak of his ego trip from like 89 to
it's-
96.
it's the-
kind of is.
It's the peak. I mean, it really dies after Cliffhanger in '93.
Yeah, you're right.
So this is really like, this is the beginning of the downfall.
Can do no wrong kind
Yeah.
of era. Yeah.
I mean, and the gun that he carries is supposed to be a homage to the gun that Jackie Chan carries in Police Story.
Oh yes, Super Cop.
yeah.
It's a Super Cop reference. Who, if you have not seen Super Cop, Police Story 3.
No. Oh
Fantastic.
yeah, I forgot that. I forgot
Fantastic
this
movie.
yeah. All of his Police Story movies are really good, but I have to
yeah.
assume that he just thought that loading the gun before he had to shoot it at Robert Zadar and other guy, just looked cool. Which, I mean, I'll be honest, it does. It doesn't really make any sense, but it's, as an image, it's pretty cool. And that's the other thing about this movie. A lot of really great images. It looks fantastic.
The parking lot chase scene where the truck knocks the overhead lights
Like
down.
the fluorescent tube lights down. Yeah.
Gorgeous. And then he has to drive through all of them while they're vertically hanging. That's a really good chunk. Right there.
Escaping the prison with the water coming down, and then you had the fan blade spinning, so you have the shadows.
The prison escape may be the highlight of the movie.
The whole
Like, all
prison
things
section is
considered.
pretty great. Like when they're
Yeah.
entering the prison, and it's all of the prisoners like rioting up against their bars, throwing shit everywhere. Like there's piles of trash everywhere, and then shit's just on fire for no reason.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell says, "I forgot to bring marshmallows," and that's quite funny.
Look, not one thing they say out loud in this movie works for me. Not a single thing. It is because they're constantly, both of them have to have the last line. So
Right.
every scene is just inundated with quips, and you're just exhausted. There's no character. There's nothing about Tango or Cash that you could say that doesn't apply to the other. That's like a personality trait. They're identical.
I think that's why I might love this. Is because
Oh my God.
Because
What are you giving this? Out of 5, what
out
are
of
you
5,
giving this
I'm giving
movie?
this like a 3. Like I get like it's not a good movie, but I love watching this movie.
All right. I was worried for a second.
This movie's like this movie is a cartoon, and once you realize it's a cartoon, it goes down a lot smoother.
It's absolutely a cartoon.
And what I love about that is Stallone's character is always trying to have the last quip, the last one-liner, but it's never as good as Kurt Russell's.
Well, yeah.
And they're not doing, it's clear that the filmmakers are not doing that on purpose. So Stallone thinks he's getting the kiss off line of any given scene, but it falls so flat. It makes the fact that Kurt Russell is so charming and so clever and so smart even funnier in my mind, because there is sort of a meta quality to watching this movie, because you have to know it's a mess. You have to know that Sylvester Stallone is at the height of his, ego,
The height of his downfall.
yeah, at the beginning, and Kurt Russell is just there doing a job, because who was supposed to play Officer Cash
So
There were so many names attached.
before Swayze.
Gibson?
Nope.
I was thinking of
It can't be Schwarzenegger.
It was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So this is
Well,
the only way this
approached him.
movie.
They wanted
The
him.
only way this movie makes sense is if it was originally supposed to be the Schwarzenegger Stallone vehicle. That never happened. That's
That's what they were supposed to. That's what John Peters in particular was trying to do. And John Peters went to Schwarzenegger and said, "Hey, do you want to be in this movie?" And he was like, "No, I don't want to do that."
I mean, brilliant call. Schwarzenegger at this time is leagues beyond.
Yeah.
Like he's destroying Stallone. Why would you possibly?
This was also right before. Was this before Stop or My Mom Will Shoot? I think it was before. You know that famous story, right?
Yeah, that's 89 or 90. That's right around. So that's the peak of this is the height of their rivalry.
Yeah.
Where Stallone is, like Schwarzenegger is basically running circles around Stallone.
Well, and that's why Stallone has the "I loved you" and Conan the Barbarian line in the prison.
Yeah.
He was taking a shot at Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Which is funny that they have the Rambo line, because you think that would be the right opportunity for, like, he thinks he's the Terminator, or he thinks he's, what's the guy's name in Commando? John Matrix? I can't believe that's his name in Commando. But that kind of thing. But it's also funny that it's like, he just made Rambo 3 this same year. For him to already be like, for Stallone to say the words Rambo's a pussy, while Rambo 3 is still trying to pull in money from like home video sales, is an insane part of this movie. And it's the first scene of the film.
And I was never able to land this, and maybe you guys will have some insight or some thoughts. I can't tell if that was him trying to make a funny meta joke, just because like everybody that's in the theater watching this will know what is going on and who I am and who Rambo is.
That's how I took
Or do you
it.
think Stallone is trying to call his shot in a new way, where he's like, you've seen me be
I think it's
Rocky,
both.
you've seen
Yeah.
me be Rambo, now watch me be Tango.
If it was a random scene in the middle of the movie, I would think it was the first. But the fact that it's the opening scene and it's setting the stage is like, it's him trying to say to the audience, this is the biggest thing you've ever seen me in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about this today. Most of Stallone's career is him course correcting from a mistake he made 3 to 4 years earlier. And this movie makes a lot more sense when you remember that he backed out of Beverly Hills Cop in '84, which became the biggest movie of the year, because he wanted to go serious with it. And then I'm sure that movie came out, he saw it and saw what it became.
Well, he made
I
Cobra
think
as a response.
he made Cobra as a response that was not amazing. I love Cobra, but like it's nothing incredible. It's like the most mid '80s action movie, probably. I don't know.
I hate Cobra for the same reasons that I love this, where it's like that is just pure Stallone.
It's so serious.
It's so serious, and it's so like it's Stallone taking himself super seriously without a drop of irony to cut through it and just be like, this is very silly. What I love about Tango and Cash is that there is that, but Kurt Russell is there to be like, you're being ridiculous.
But this is why the score sounds like Beverly Hills Cop. Everything about this feels like he's like, I'll do what I didn't do last time. The same way, like, I mean, he's always sort of said he never understood science fiction, and I think that was the winning move in the Schwarzenegger-Stallone rivalry, where like Schwarzenegger made the jump over and he did the Terminator movies and did a few other things. And Stallone, that's why Stallone grabbed Demolition Man. It was the right call. It's an amazing movie, but like it's amazing in spite of Stallone. Like he's the worst piece of that. Like it's that thing. Cliffhanger 2. Stallone was approached for Die Hard and didn't take it. Like, then he ended up taking like one of the knockoff movies. Again, great movie, but like most of his career, you can see he's like, I didn't like the decision I had the opportunity to make. I will do what I can to fix it 3 to 4 years after that. So that's what this feels like to me.
Yeah. Well, it's also I'll do what I can to fix it on my terms later, because
Sure.
Like the fundamental difference between Schwarzenegger and Stallone is that like Stallone is a like auteur filmmaker. He got his start being like a
100%.
writer. He always wanted to be he wanted to direct Rocky, and they were like, no. He was in Rocky. Schwarzenegger's a businessman who like gets who he is on camera. Like he understands the image that his like shape creates. And
the image his shape creates might be the perfect description of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There's a reason one of them went into politics and the other didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think Schwarzenegger truly like understands power and like finance, and Stallone is actually like knows ball and wants to be in movies.
Yeah.
Like he's a movie lover first and not like trying to make a better life for himself.
And I think we are being hard on Stallone. It is hard to talk about Stallone in this era where he's being more of a fool in some regard. Like he is, I consider him an auteur. He can be a great writer. He can be a great visionary in a lot of ways. But yeah, I just want to make sure we're not hating on him too hard.
No, but I mean, he is in as much as this movie has a problem, he is the problem.
Probably.
I mean, John Peters
on
also
screen for sure.
Yeah, and John Peters doesn't help. But
well, he should have had the giant spider. That would have probably saved the third act.
Really would have tied the whole thing together.
Nature's most fearsome predator. Where are you with it, Peter? What's your star rating?
It's like 2 to 2.5.
Okay.
But did you have fun?
No.
Okay. See, that's the difference. I
had no fun watching this movie.
I had fun in parts.
Okay.
I had fun when they were having fun, but it's when they're on the same page and it feels like a Looney Tunes cartoon where I'm like, yes, I can accept this as long as we're all in agreement that this is Looney Tunes. When they try to take it serious and they're playing something as serious as a heart attack, and I expect Leslie Nielsen to come out of nowhere and be like, make a fart joke or something.
Yeah.
Like it feels like this could be the Naked Gun in some places.
Yeah.
And those are the places where I'm like, I'm out, guys.
Yeah.
Just make the Naked Gun then. But that's to me that I keep coming back and I'm like, this might be the perfect movie to end the 80s.
Yeah.
Like this encapsulates the sort of like historical movies that you hear from the late 70s and through the 80s of just like coked up madness where we've got like 2 stars attached, not a full script, a director that sort of knows what he's doing, a star that's like out of his mind on ego that's going to shape it in the way that he wants, and then a producer that comes in, sees everything and says, no, that's not what I want, and tries to change the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like what is more 80s than that?
And a cast of thousands behind the scenes on the crew who were just miserable for the whole time.
$20 million over budget, and like that's Reagan's America, baby. Like that's what we do.
It's a sign of this movie is a failure to be like, you would think the last movie of the 80s would be a movie that all of us are like, oh, I assume that was a 90s movie. It's just visually, just the vibe of it. The fact that this doesn't even remotely feel like the most modern 80s movie is a problem. Like it feels like 1986, 87 latest vibe. It's just aged weird. Here's the other problem. I think this scene encapsulates my problem with this whole movie, where it's like, obviously the main problem is like the dynamic between Tango and Cash. I don't think it works at all, and it's just quippy one-liners. The scene where they're in prison and they're naked in the shower.
I want that shower. Not full of naked guys, but like that
prison shower.
But yeah,
You
like
want a prison shower.
like the 8 shower heads that are on, and like it looks warm and nice. I just want that's my perfect shower. Sorry,
You go down to your local Y.
I didn't mean to. Not the Jersey City local. Right? No. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Frank.
I think they call it a how, not a why. Okay, hold on. They're naked, where they're being framed from the abs up, and they're talking. They're having a whole scene together. And during the course of that scene, they both reference the other one having a small dick. Because they both have to have the line where they make fun of the other one's dick.
Yeah.
The problem is, you now both have small dicks. Like you have left the scene where you're both tiny dicked muscular people who are moving on with the story, and you're like, well, you've shot yourselves in the foot by both. You've made fun of each other so much and so incessantly that I don't have anything else to grasp onto other than considering you both basically foolish people who shoot guns
Or two small dicks.
or two small dicks.
It's called genetics, Pee-wee.
Here's the difference, Frank. This is the difference between you and me. And this is, I love you.
You like it small.
I love the fact that you walk away from that conversation not even assuming that they both have small dicks, but just landing at, just knowing that where they landed is they both have small dicks.
I think Frank's position though is that like because they've like gone the full blown mutually assured destruction route.
Exactly.
We assume as an audience that there is nothing to refute this, so it is true that they both have small dicks.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the thing. It's like they're also going to walk out of the shower and continue to be hard ass cartoon cops that, are trying to be 80s action hero guys.
But man, is that just not like internal motivation for this entire movie?
Yes, that's why this movie is
it's
good.
It's just like I'm
God,
compensating so
that's
hard.
why this movie is good.
I can't. It's so charmlessly abrasive. Like it's so the action is mostly just spectacle. The opening scene is nothing's anything. Nothing's anything. It's just loud and bright.
I gotta say the fight in the prison boiler room, I guess.
That again, the prison may be the best short film in the whole thing.
But like the one where they get thrown down.
They start electrocuting
in the laundry.
They get thrown down the laundry chute, and then Robert Sadar accosts them, and followed by like all these nameless prison guys.
Fucking Jack Palance is there. That's fucking crazy.
He's like in the steam. He's just standing in the steam and shadow, being like, "Ha ha ha! I've captured you." He makes no sense. It is incredible how little sense that character makes, and how in the course of
makes he propels the entire narrative.
Yes. But then you get like a fight I realize we don't see very often, which I started calling like video game fight, where it's the hero versus a bunch of basically identical
goons
in a fist fight scenario. Like I kind of miss that in movies. We don't see that in
Connor,
movies very often.
you've had that fight so many times playing Arkham City.
I know,
like,
that's the thing. It's like we don't.
It is very Arkham.
Yeah. We don't you don't see it very much these days. And I would love to see that come back. But then when they're getting tortured, hung up on crosses basically, and they're having their toes dipped into electrified water, like what the fuck?
And they're crying for each other.
Yeah, they're like,
Cash, no.
Tango, I love you so much. Cash, I love you so much.
Yeah.
Like that again, like tonally, that is.
I'll never forget the shower.
That scene doesn't make any sense. I will. There's no defending it. It just doesn't make any sense. It is just grim and dark for no reason. It's well executed, but
It's well executed. You get Jack Palance with one of the worst lines in the movie, where he's in shadow, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Let's just say I'm someone who doesn't like you very much." And you're like, "Dude, come on, Jack."
That sounds like it was started in English, was written into another language, was translated into another language, and then came back in English.
Can we give some respect to Jack Palance's buddies? Mostly to the homie James Hong.
Oh yeah,
the absolute legend.
Still working.
Fucking everybody is.
He's
in this
incredible.
Movie.
James Hong, he's
incredible.
97, 98 at this point.
Yeah.
He's so up there. He's in every Kung Fu Panda movie. He's still on the red carpet.
He is 97. He was born in 1929.
Jesus Christ.
He's been older than us since like 20 years before we were born. Like, it is insane.
He started acting in 1954.
Yes. And he's a treat. He's a gem. He's like to still be considered a nice man that late in life. That's a win. And in this day and age, that's a win.
And is basically set dressing for most of this movie until they get shot through a window at the end.
So there's him. Well, there's two Blade Runner guys. There's him, and then there's
Brian
who's the
James.
Cockney accent. Brian James, who's always excellent.
The worst
Love him.
Cockney accent. It's fantastic.
I think.
Do you know he did that on purpose?
Yeah.
A bad one?
That's like a
Yes.
joke.
But yeah, he did it to like, he had like one line, and Stallone loved it so much. He was like, yeah, we need more of that. And then like made him into a full blown character.
How does Stallone have the worst instincts? It's incredible.
I mean, it is this, talk about the 80s. There is that cocaine thing where you're like, yeah. Like they just like, something happens and you like something, which means you fucking love it because it's cocaine. Like
Right,
it's, you know, you end up with that where you have like one Cockney line and suddenly you're like the third villain in the last 80s movie.
He's the, according to the cops, he's the guy that like set everything up. Like he was everywhere.
Yeah. There's also, what's that? They like run out of villains at the end.
Mhm.
And-
Yeah. Yes.
And then they bring in a new villain in the last 2 minutes.
So he
and
can
there's
fight
an
Stallone.
80-yard, yes, there's an 80-yard line of Jack Palance be like, this is Mr. So-and-so. He's been excited to meet you. And you're like, dude, you've had
Yeah.
all
I was
film.
like, who's this guy?
This guy. in
I
the
think the
scene.
line is, you haven't met him yet.
Yes, it's literally
But
like
he's
somehow
excited.
Palpatine returned.
Yeah. But he's excited to join in on the fight, I guess.
Yes, and it's so late in the movie to introduce like a new, essentially the final boss. If this was
Yeah.
a video game, that would be the final boss.
Well, they
of
just
the
did the
movie.
story math wrong. He should
He
should have been
Brian
James Hong.
James.
He should
Or
have been
James
fighting
Hong.
James. He should have just been
One of
fighting
them.
James Hong.
I don't know. And then they do the room of mirrors thing a little
my-
bit.
I almost flipped my coffee table when the room of mirrors door.
You don't like this movie. Shut up. You do not like this film.
I was just like, I was shocked. I was just like, like, what other cliche could they pull out in the last 5 minutes of this movie? And he just has a mirror maze off to the side of his office. It's like the door to his executive bathroom or something.
They did set up because he's got the rats and the toy maze. It is his wood. It's his wood. He would have a real maze
So his thing
off to
is-
the side.
His carpentry is not mice, it's mazes. He just loves mazes. I can't believe you guys are not on this energetic level that I'm on about this. Like, come on.
Connor, I'm happy you're happy.
I was as shocked when the door opened and it was a mirror maze as I was like the first time I watched The Last Boy Scout and the guy running down the football field pulls out a gun and just starts shooting defensemen. Have you seen The Last Boy Scout?
Yes. Excellent. Excellent movie.
It was I didn't even think to ask what's next, and suddenly it was just like, guess what? Here we are.
What movies have done the mirror maze and it's not and it works successfully for what the movie's going to do? In my mind, there's only one that really.
Well, the
nails
lady
it.
from Shanghai did it first, I think.
When was that?
It was
50s?
Orson Welles. It was like the 40s and 50s.
Okay, so then Enter the Dragon is the one I always think of.
What about Us?
Yeah, 47 was lady from Shanghai.
I can't remember.
In Jordan Peele, I remember it from the trailer because it's the little girl and she's going through the maze and
Yeah.
she sees
Oh,
her reflection.
the opening
in it.
scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so scary. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
Super scary.
Speaking of Jordan Peele and mirror mazes, actually, I think the best execution of mirror maze is that one Key and Peele sketch where
Oh, yes.
where
That's the
Key's going through a mirror maze with a gun and suddenly he's pointing the gun at the real.
Go ahead and shoot, detective. I mean, what do I care if you get 7 years bad luck? You know it's not safe to keep a gun cocked like that, even if you are just pointing it at a mirror.
He's like, no, this is clearly you. You flinched at the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. And then John Wick 2 does it just it's less that it does it interestingly. It's more just like the light, the color and camera work is just beautiful.
Visually, it's really interesting.
Can I tell you guys the 3 other movies that opened the same week as this movie?
Can you help us give us hints to guess them?
I think I know one.
One is a Tom Cruise movie.
It's not the one that I'm thinking of. I think
Days
one
of
is
Thunder?
Not Days of Thunder.
It's be 89 Tom Cruise.
Rain Man? What is he doing around 89?
It's probably one of his least well-known movies, or at least well-remembered movies.
When was Cocktail?
It's not Cocktail.
It's not Born on the 4th of July, I don't think.
It is Born on the 4th of
Oh,
July.
that is
Yep.
one of his least.
I was
That's
like,
Stone, right?
What's as early in the 90s as you can get was sort of the way I was thinking about it. But I believe the other one was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
It
should be.
No, close. It opened around the same time, but not the same week.
Oh, okay.
Same month. Yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation had opened 3 weeks prior.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
smart.
because I know I reading about it. It was like the when they got the green light to make Tango and Cash, it was like, okay, you're going to start in June. It's got to be out. It's got to be out in December, I think it was. And as much of a clusterfuck as putting the movie together was, they still delivered the movie on time.
They delivered this movie on time.
Yeah.
Let's.
Half the battles getting the paper in on time.
So, Born on the 4th of July. One is
89 was Batman was not
That was out in,
that was
like,
the
June.
summer.
Yeah.
One was a documentary that opened in 9 theaters but became very, very well known.
Shit.
Fog of War?
Truth or
I don't know.
Dare?
Michael Moore.
Oh, Michael Moore. Oh,
The car one? What's the car one?
Yep.
Yep,
it's
my
Dinner
my
with
conversation with no, it's not my dinner with Andre.
It's a name.
Yes.
Ampersand.
And me.
Yes.
We almost went from Marley and Me, which is not right.
Roger.
Roger and me. Yes. An okay documentary. I get it. I get it.
But his launching pad.
Yeah.
His,
Yeah.
calling card.
Um,
And then the last movie is a movie I've never heard of.
okay, just tell us. We're not going to know it.
Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, John Goodman.
Always.
Oh yeah, always. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You haven't have heard of Always?
I've
Do you know-
never heard
look up
of
who
Always,
directed
yeah.
Always.
Who directed Always?
Look it up. Don't say
I-
anything, Connor. Look it up, Peter, right now, and tell me who directed Always.
You're going to tell me it's like Steven Spielberg or something.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts.
You're kidding.
It's his least known movie.
It's his supernatural romance forest fire fighting movie.
It's kind of a remake of somebody called Joe, a man called
Something
called
like
Joe,
that, yeah.
something like that.
I
I can't believe this is actually a Steven
I
Spielberg.
had never
can't believe I
heard
called
of
my
it
shot.
until Blank Check covered it last year.
Yes, I watched it this year for the first time. There's a lot in there that's really, really good. And then
I believe
it
it.
doesn't really amount to much. We should cover it at some point because it's really interesting to sort of see a movie that if you haven't seen a frame of this fucking film.
Yeah.
Um,
And it was what he did between Last Crusade and
Hook.
Hook. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a wonky little period because he's got, other than Last Crusade, which was an easy win, he's got
A few years
Empire of
ago.
the Sun is 87, which I love, but didn't really hit. And then
It's a few years before Jurassic Park when he becomes like
and
Or the two for a year Jurassic Park and Schindler's List.
Yeah, his second half of the 80s. I mean, he starts with Color Purple in 85, which is again a fantastic film, but it just doesn't fundamentally work because of you can't have Spielberg make Color Purple. It just
Yeah.
But yeah, Always has some scenes where you're like, man, this is top tier 80s Spielberg magic. And it doesn't, the ending kind of just falls flat, and it's not really the ending you want it to have. But there's a lot in there that's fascinating to experience. We should watch it. It's Audrey Hepburn's last film too.
Yep. It's got Keith David in it. I'm getting.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, we'll check it out. I love that you got to sort of experience. I love
I
that you.
can't believe I did
I
that.
love that you dropped Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and John Goodman's name, being like,
And you
"Oh,
guys
it's
got
just
it
some,
immediately,
Yeah,
and
it's
I was
just some
like, I
random
don't know.
film." And then you, that was great.
Guys, I'm a co-host on a movie podcast. I don't know why you let me keep doing this.
I mean, if you're not going to know one Spielberg movie, that is the Spielberg movie to not know.
Yeah.
It's like that and Sugarland or Amblin, I guess, are the ones that kind of didn't happen really.
It's not your fault. It's the culture's fault, Peter.
Okay, good.
No, I mean
It's them who's the problem, not me.
speaking of problems, Tango and Cash, they get out of
They have
prison.
problems?
The problem, my issue is, you go into this cold and you're trying to be like, okay, what's the film? Like it's a buddy cop movie, but what's the thing? Is it they don't like each other and they've got to work the bubble? Is it this, or they get arrested 15 minutes into the movie, so it's pretty far in.
Yeah,
and then the trial is a chunk.
it's a lot of the movie.
It's a lot of chunks.
Shocking.
And then they go to jail, and you're like, oh, I guess they're in prison for the film. I guess this movie is two cops in prison. They have to learn to work together. And then they break out at the absolute worst time in the film
At like
to
the
break
hour
out.
mark.
The hour mark where you're
Not
like,
even that.
oh, what even is this movie? If this is not about prison, they get out and suddenly it's way too much about Stallone's sister. And you're like, is this the film? What is the film about? They don't know the bad guy's name for most of the film. They don't know who's even doing this to them.
So stupid.
It's built insanely.
And Terry Hatcher's great in this movie.
Terry
Besides
Hatcher's-
her
Yeah.
insane electric drum solo.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing that up, Peter. 'Cause that's-
Dear listener, if you think I'm just like doing like Mad Libs here, I assure you I'm not.
That is one of those moments of nobody was in charge. Nobody was thinking. Nobody was actually making creative decisions. They were just happening. They were just in a space for them to happen, and they're just happening. Like,
What
how
year
does that
did Lois and Clark start?
93.
4?
Wow.
I've got her IMDb up. It's 93.
God, she must be so young in this. Did you guys watch that back in the day?
Not
I watched some Lois and Clark.
yeah,
back in the day.
not regularly, but
No, not regular, but delightful little show. It's like that Hercules Xena kind of like perfect 90s,
She would have been 25 in this movie.
yeah. So,
I honestly thought she was like 19.
Yeah,
or
so
20.
did I.
Yeah.
yeah, and then they're going to the respective people that testified in court about their guilt.
Yeah, and threatening their lives.
Yeah, they find like the one FBI guy who I didn't recognize who gets blown up by his own car, and Stallone says a lot of really negative things about his diet.
I also think, just to touch on, I think this plays to all of Stallone's weaknesses, where as simple as it is, flip their roles and have Kurt Russell be the Tango, who's the buttoned up. Like, think of Kurt Russell in that one scene in Big Trouble in Little China where he has to pretend to be a reporter, or he's got glasses. He's kind of like a so-and-so is my name and this is my, he's kind of like that buttoned up guy. Like, if he played it like that but still was an action hero about stuff, you've kind of got a film where you can't, if you're gonna play on tropes, you have to have Stallone play a Stallonian character.
Yeah, but it's not like Stallone played a lot of funny people ever.
That's why it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing. It's like Kurt Russell's character is both like gruff and rough around the edges, but he's also funny, and kind of not taking everything super seriously because he has like the confidence that he's gonna get through it.
But that's Stallone's character traits. This is why this doesn't work. Everything you say about Kurt Russell's character applies to Stallone's character.
But it's just the big difference is the charisma meter.
Sure, but
Stallone's is way down. So if you made him like gritty, rough around the edges detective cop, if you made him Cobretti from Cobra, if you made Cobra. It would be even more dour and like no fun.
Are you kidding me? If you had Stallone's Cobra next to Kurt Russell's Cash, you have a film.
No.
This makes sense. Yes, you absolutely. Kurt Russell can be the flamboyantly wisecracking guy, and Stallone is just sort of like barely saying anything and nailing kind of his vibe. Like, you've got a film that works.
I think you see that too much. I you've seen
Not
that other
dying.
places.
Yeah, I know. No, of course. We've done that to death now, but if you're gonna...
it's like the Beverly Hills Cop, Eddie Murphy plus like the LAPD, like the Beverly Hills Cops. It's like it's
But at this point, the buddy cop formula is done, and it's time
Right, it's
to play
established.
with it.
Yeah.
You've got
That's what they
got
were doing.
Dragnet.
That's what
you've
they're
got
doing.
that whatever that John Candy one and Eugene Levy one was. Like you're playing with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And even Lethal Weapon, the peak of the buddy cop thing is 2 years earlier. Like you've got you know you have to have he's this and he's this, and you can't. There isn't a thing here. The fact that Stallone's like, I guess, rich and clean,
Right. Well, and to
isn't
me,
a thing.
man, my read of the movie is that he is like the button down rich guy thing is like a put on, that he's like he has to work constantly to try to maintain that image, right? Like if he didn't feel compelled to look like that, he would just be Cobra, but he's not, and he's doing that thing on purpose. And what's interesting to me is when that kind of stuff breaks down.
Yeah, I think your Weekend at Bernie's scene.
I
this
might,
movie. Like
but,
the movie's
like,
dead, and
this
you're
movie's
like,
also
see,
kind of
see,
corpsey.
look at
Like,
it move its limbs.
But that's why and maybe that's why that's why I enjoy it. That's why maybe that's.
I'm
why
glad.
having
I am
having-
glad you liked. I wish I could enjoy this because this does seem like a fun movie to enjoy. It's
Yeah.
a lot of explosions and guns with guns on them. You know,
It's silly and stupid and shallow and but because I guess I lucked out in that because there may not be that much there and I was just in the place to put a lot of stuff in that empty space.
That's the thing. If you catch this movie on the right vibe, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I just think Frank and I just weren't on the vibe.
Yeah. Well, get on my vibe, guys.
I feel like I have to drink a lot of PBR to be on the vibe. I don't know. It's
My only
It's a tough
intoxicant
one.
while I was watching this was a pint of Ben and Jerry's.
what's a worse?
What flavor, Cotter?
It was some sort of chocolate coffee cheesecake thing. It was fucking fantastic.
Sounds really
so
good.
It's really good.
What of kind of like the 80s buddy cop movies, what do you think lands worse than this? Probably
Worse?
Dragnet, the Hanks Aykroyd one is pretty low.
but Dragnet, they're
Is
like
there anything
they're
there?
also
I haven't seen
parodying a
that.
thing that like there was also not a lot of there.
Kind of.
But in that way that Dan Aykroyd parodies thing, which is to say, just do exactly that.
What's that Schwarzenegger John Belushi? Not even Jim Belushi one?
I don't.
Red. It's
Oh,
Red Heat.
Red Heat. I've never seen that.
I haven't either. I mix that up with Raw Deal, which is like
Yeah.
the other
Similar.
generic
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger 80s movie. But there's probably some other ones we're missing that are just absolute garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they made a lot of these, and they were coasting on. Was it Lethal Weapon that everybody was trying to coast off, or was it?
No, Lethal Weapon was the like formula perfected. It's really just it's been around for a while, but honestly, I think Beverly Hills Cop acknowledging, even though it's three of them, the culture shock of the culture clash kind of thing was
The slob versus snobs.
kind of the first mainstream version of like he's wears denim and is into what is this Renegades.
Guys, Renegades, Kiefer Sutherland,
Lou Diamond
and
Phillips,
Lou Diamond
Phillips, my
and
guy.
Jamie Gertz, one of possibly the richest actresses in the entire world because she married a billionaire.
No, good for her.
She owns a football team, I think. Something crazy. She was on Seinfeld. I don't know this movie at all, but I do love me some Kiefer and Lou Diamond.
I do.
This movie, I'm so curious.
Yeah.
The boys are back in town.
An undercover cop forms an alliance with a Native American to help him hunt down the criminals who stole an ancient Lakota tribal lands.
Great.
Oh, I really hope there's magic in this movie.
I was about to say, I hope this turns Indiana
Right?
Jones
This
like
is
halfway
like,
through.
there are
Yeah.
there's two Chuck Norris movies from the 80s that have like spiritual Indian kind of like things they do with them. I forget what their names are. They're really fun and stupid.
Directed by the guy who did Arachnid and Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh,
They were
That's
just
fun.
making movies back then, you know?
We used to make things in this
We
country.
used to make things
Yeah.
in this country. That's a thing I was thinking about quite a bit in my research was just like they just made stuff. You know, like if somebody comes, like the whole Tango and Cash idea was John Peters going to some guy with the basic idea of like a buddy. I forget what the thesis was. It was something, but it was something very broad. And they were like, if you can come up with a script, sure, we'll give you the money to do that, John Peters.
Yeah.
And now it exists. It's just all on streaming.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the initial idea was John Peters. I forget what inspired him, but it was the idea of two cops in jail, like it was like
falling in love.
Like the really interesting part of the movie, like your favorite part of the movie, Frank, was I think it was initially supposed to be the whole movie.
Well, it's the part where you're like, okay, I understand the stakes of how this works.
Yeah.
You've been framed. You're in jail with the only person you're a lot allied with is someone you don't get along with, and you have to get along with. It makes perfect sense. I kind of wish it was the film because they really went all out on that prison set. It's basically Alcatraz. Like it is such a like fortress of a prison.
The scene where he's like going through the cooling fans.
Oh, sure.
I'm like,
The Rock.
Did they just shoot on location? Did they just find like a big like place?
I think that was happening a lot.
I'm
in
sure
the
it's a
80s.
set, but
Yeah, this was one.
Firewalker.
Chuck Norris, Lou Gossett Jr. and Chuck Norris, Firewalker, and then the other one was Hellbound. He had two
Both
culturally insensitive Native American Satan movies.
incredible posters on both counts, I must say.
I mean, Firewalker is. We'll cover that at some point. That is a fun, dumb movie. That's like a very Indiana Jones, like Globetrotting shit.
Yeah. Well, do we have anything else for Tango and Cash?
What do you guys think of Rambo?
It's pussy.
Okay, just making sure we're all aligned. It just doesn't make sense to say that line while your movie is probably still in some theaters. It's an insane thing to do. I'm sorry.
Here's a question. If they were going to kiss, because there's a couple of moments where they look like they want to, does it happen at the end of the shower scene, or does it happen in that last moment where they look at each other after Stallone has like zip lined onto the other side of the prison wall, like before they part ways to go detective on their own? Like,
I think
you know what it is.
What is it?
You know what it is? It's the scene after Terry Hatcher helps Kurt Russell escape from the club and drag, and the cop is like, "So can I get a threesome?" And they like both flick their cigarettes at
That's a
him.
great moment. It's
a great moment.
Yeah.
And they jump ahead, and there's a scene where Terry Hatcher is rubbing Kurt Russell's back, and it's very clearly meant to look like they're having sex. And of course, Sylvester Stallone walks in, and we don't know that she's his sister yet, but it's right after that when he catches them. They have their moment with the chief, and then he turns around and he plants one right on Kurt Russell. And he's like, "Never scare me like that again." And then they go and do their mission. Like, that's it.
That's pretty
That's
good.
what's on the cutting room floor right now.